Today we're going to do a short video on how to create NAT gateways. NAT gateways are very great tools for your applications that are in your private subnet to access the internet for stuff like updates and upgrades. You know, by security standards, all your applications should be in your private subnet, and so you would want to have a NAT gateway in your public subnet so you can hook up to your NAT gateway and gain access, one-way access to the internet to update your applications that are in the private subnet. So the way the architecture works is your NAT gateway is created in your public subnet, but it is associated with a route table in your private subnet. So that way it creates a connection with all the applications in your private subnet. So that way the applications in your private subnet are able to get on the internet and do updates or upgrades, you know, via the NAT gateway, which is provisioned in the public subnet but associated with the private route table. Now, without further ado, let's go. So the first thing we need to do is we can decide to click here and look for a NAT gateway, which is you have up there. But let's use our tab to select locate your virtual private cloud. Come down to where you have NAT gateways, select NAT gateway. Right now we have no NAT gateways. On your top right, click create NAT gateway. Give your NAT gateway name. Select a subnet in which you want your NAT gateway to be provisioned. So this is where it gets tricky. Your NAT gateway must be provisioned in the public subnet for it to be able to be effective. So here is we already have subnets that we've tagged, public and private subnet. So I'll go for a public subnet and I'll create my NAT gateway in a public subnet. And I want my NAT gateway to have public connectivity so that it can hit the internet. And then if you have an elastic IP, I did a video on how to create an elastic IP. Here is where you can allocate and associate your elastic IP with your NAT gateway. If you do not, by default, NAT gateways will create an elastic IP for you. And then we come down to our tags, and you give your key a name. You assign name to your key, and the value you give it the name of your NAT gateway. It's already done that for us, so we just go ahead and hit create NAT gateway. So it tells us here now that we have to assign an elastic IP to our NAT gateway. So this is where we have to go create an elastic IP. So once you hit allocate elastic IP, it automatically assigns an elastic IP for you, and you can now go ahead and create your NAT gateway. So we have our NAT gateway created, and it takes a while before it gets created and running. So what we've done here effectively is our NAT gateway has been created. The next thing we need to do is to go to our route tables and look for our private route table, and then associate our NAT gateway with our private route table. We'll come to edit, we'll come to routes, come to edit, select edit, come to add route. You select the destination, that is traffic is going outside. When you see 0.0.0/0, it means you're allowing traffic to go out, right? And then the target, if traffic has to go out in your private subnet, remember this is our private route table. If traffic has to go out, target from any application in your private subnet. If traffic has to go out to the internet, target the NAT gateway. So you go there and you select your NAT gateway. And this is a NAT gateway we created, my test NAT gateway. Select it and hit Save Changes. So what we have effectively done is to create a NAT gateway that helps us to get to the internet and update and upgrade applications that are in our private subnets. This is the private route table, and if you come to subnet associations, you will see the subnets that are associated with this route table are private subnets. The reason is they do not have internet gateway associated with them. Private subnets, mostly you have, what you get to see is a NAT gateway associated with your private subnet, and that NAT gateway must be provisioned in your public subnet. So when you applications in your private subnet need to ask to get to the internet, they need to get outside your VPC to the internet, the target, the resource that they will target is your NAT gateway. And guess what? Your NAT gateway is provisioned in your public subnet. So when they target your NAT gateway, the NAT gateway has access to the internet, and it only allows one-way access. So you cannot gain access from outside into your private subnet via your NAT gateway. It's not possible. The only way to gain access into your private subnet is through your internet gateway, and from there on through security groups, load balancers, and whatever your infrastructure setup is. So I hope you like this video. If you've learned something from this video, do well to hit the like button, subscribe, put on comment below, and let me know what you want me to make for you. Thank you very much. Bye.